Police have found a 3-month-old boy who was kidnapped from his San Jose home on Monday. On Tuesday morning, police say they have 3 suspects in custody. NTD Cynthia Kai reports.
Within 20 hours of a kidnapping, law enforcement safely located 3-month-old baby Brandon Cuellar on Tuesday morning. Police said he has been taken to a local hospital as a precaution, but is unharmed and in good condition. Brandon will be returned to his family after a checkup. Officers arrested 3 suspects, but are not releasing names at this time.
We know that there's some connection to the family, but we don't know exactly what that connection is, and that's something that will be determined during the course of the investigation.
Police believe one of the people in custody is the man caught on video taking baby Brandon. 3-month-old Brandon was kidnapped early Monday afternoon. Police told reporters on Monday that a man entered a San Jose apartment at about 1 p.m. and walked away with the infant in a baby carrier.
We were alerted to this kidnapping incident by the baby's grandmother. Mom was at work when this happened. According to grandmother, she came home to this apartment located in the 1000 block of Elm Street. She took the baby in the apartment, went downstairs to unload some groceries. In that short amount of time, someone entered the apartment and left with the baby.
Police released a video showing the man walking down the sidewalk, holding the baby carrier covered by a white blanket.
Dad right now is out of the picture. He is incarcerated. I don't know, whether or not that is going to play into this, but obviously we're going to talk to him soon.
The FBI dispatched its child abduction response team to help San Jose police.
On a positive note, a stranger child abduction is extraordinarily a rare occurrence in this country. I think that's something we should all hopefully take comfort in. When it does happen, it's obviously a very high impact threat. Low probability, but high impact.
Our detectives are continuing to work on this case. We will have more information as this case unfolds. But once again, I'd like to thank everyone involved from the start of the call till now. And this is where the hard work also begins, also putting this case together, working with our district attorney and others.
Police say the investigation is still ongoing and will provide more information when available. Cynthia Kai, NTD News, California.
San Jose police confirmed that baby Brandon has been reunited with mom. SJPD said that we can relay her gratitude and thank yous to all who assisted. The Alameda County Sheriff's Office in California seized more than 92 pounds of illegal fentanyl over the weekend. The office says the amount is enough to kill about 20 million people. At a street value of $100 per gram, the total value of the seized fentanyl exceeds $4 million. Authorities say they recovered the drugs from a number of locations in Oakland and Hayward. Earlier this month, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration warned of a spike in mass overdose incidents involving fentanyl. A mass incident is defined as 3 or more such cases in a short period of time in the same location. DEA Administrator Ann Milgram said that there have been 7 such mass overdose incidents in the U.S. since January. Los Angeles homeless population suffered from a higher number of deaths during the pandemic, but COVID wasn't the main cause. The main killer was illicit drugs. NTD's Daniel Hall has a look at what drugs were doing the most damage.
Homeless deaths in Los Angeles County increased by 56% over the first 12 months of the COVID-19 pandemic compared to the previous 12 months. The spike was partially due to the virus, but drug overdoses are the main cause. According to a County Department of Public Health report, from April 2020 to 2021, homeless deaths increased from nearly 13,000 to just under 2,000. Fatalities from drug overdoses increased by 78% for that time period. 179 homeless people died from the CCP virus, also known as COVID-19. When excluding COVID fatalities, the county's homeless deaths still rose by 43%. County Supervisor Hilda Solis told the Epic Times that the findings in the report reflect a true state of emergency on the streets across our county. Overdose deaths among homeless people under age 50 doubled in the first year of the pandemic. When divided by race, overdose deaths among homeless Latinos jumped by 84%, 74% for blacks, and 67% among whites. Methamphetamine was involved in 75% of deaths, roughly the same as the previous year. The involvement of fentanyl in overdose deaths rose from 27% to 45%. County officials said they have steps planned to address homeless deaths. These include an expansion of field-based substance abuse treatment services, increased distribution of naloxone, and more infectious disease protocols in shelters and encampments.
Anaheim City Council is scheduled to vote on a lawsuit about Angels' previous stadium. The case revolved around affordable housing.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta on April 25th urged the Anaheim Council to accept the settlement agreement. In total, the settlement would result in 1,000 new affordable homes, Bonta's office said. The funds would come from the sale of the 150-acre Angels Stadium. The Department of Housing and Community Development alleges that the city violated the Surplus Land Act by not making certain offers on the sale first. The act requires sellers first offer to sell land to developers and set aside at least 80% for housing, with 40% for affordable housing units, among other zoning and public notification requirements. The sale was first approved in 2019. According to Bonta's office, the settlement is part of a wider state effort to address California's housing crisis.
The Supreme Court on Thursday kept alive a California man's hope of reclaiming a valuable Impressionist masterpiece taken from his family in the 1920s. The legal battle has lasted nearly 2 decades.
The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled in favor of a Jewish family trying to retrieve a painting by French Impressionist Camille Pissarro.
The family believe that this is a success, and they are hopeful that justice will be served.
The Casseret family, now living in California, has been trying to reclaim ownership of the painting. Lily Cassier inherited Rue Saint-Honoré Après-Midi Effet de Pluie from her family in 1926. But in 1939, she was forced to surrender the Impressionist painting to the Nazis in order to obtain exit visas from Germany. In 1951, the artwork resurfaced in the United States, where it remained until Baron Hans Heinrich Thyssen-Bornemisza purchased it for $300,000 in 1976. His collection gave rise to the Museo Thyssen-Bornemisza, a museum in Madrid, Spain. The current-day heirs of Lily Cassier have been locked in a legal battle spanning almost 2 decades with Madrid's Thyssen-Bornemisza Collection Foundation over the Paris street scene. In 2018, a California court ruled that under federal law, the Madrid Museum was the rightful owner. Earlier this year, the U.S. Supreme Court had been asked to decide which jurisdiction's laws cover the dispute. On April 21st, the court unanimously said it should be the state of California's law rather than federal law and returned the case to lower courts.
We cannot anticipate what the courts will say. We believe that with the law at hand, California substantive law should apply, and therefore the painting be returned to the family. However, that is something that the courts are yet to decide, and we will see what the outcome will be.
Cremades said under California's law, a person cannot consolidate the property of any asset that's been stolen. The Thyssen Museum said in a statement it was confident that the appeals court in California would rule in its favor.
When you have questions about the future, what better way to get a hint about it than through a cookie? While fortune cookies are usually for a bite of positivity, one man and his family has made a business out of producing handmade cookies at his San Francisco shop. NTD's David Lam shares the good fortune.
As businesses return from the pandemic and thrive again, so does the level of tourism. Now in this Chinatown alley in San Francisco, one local tourist spot is getting crowded again. For most Americans, Chinese food is synonymous with fortune cookies, and people are grabbing a bite at this specialist shop, the Golden Gate Fortune Cookie Factory.
This is a tourist attractions. I want to serve every customer walk in, no matter it's 1, 10, or hundreds. I still serve. So it's my goal, my attitude. to serve the people.
The owner, Kevin Chan, said he left his doors open during the pandemic, despite getting no customers.
We actually are recovering from now, and people are slowly beginning to come to San Francisco Chinatown, which is great.
This past weekend, locals and tourists alike came in for some cookies. Some young cookie aficionados shared their surprise at Chan's workload.
It tastes really good. It tastes better than the ones that I've had in different stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes really good. It's really good.
It's crazy how they made them though. How they make them all by hand and just by they get the patty and they just instantly form it with their hands.
They just fold it.
Yeah. Originally, I thought that the fortune cookies were made in Japan or something.
Yeah, I thought they were made.
This year marks the diamond anniversary for the bakery. They say they make up to 10,000 cookies a day, depending on the season. Chan says the sweet aroma comes from the baking process, taking about 4.5 minutes rotating. Then they have 4 seconds to fold the cookie before it hardens.
What does a fortune cookie mean to you? What does it symbolize?
Fortune cookie is meditation message. The message will meditate people and bring people hope, laugh, and love.
Sometimes they can come true for me. I notice that sometimes they are real and that they will they'll be you will lose your pants, and the next day I can't find my pants. Mine is that I will never see the color purple again in my life.
Always be positive. Things will be over and good. Always be positive in many ways.
As for Chan's fortune, there's sure to be many more cookies in his future. David Lam, NTD News, California.